Alright, increasing gradient of about 7 of the road does increase, and you want to take advantage of that for as long as possible. We're using just a little bit of the outside part of the curb, just sort of kissing up against it, I suppose. Actually, I may prove to be wrong. We weren't using it at all. It feels like you are, but yeah, actually not. You can get away with it. On some laps, I think I did hit it, but ideally, yeah, you want to use close to it without actually riding up on top of it properly. And you can see we take a late downshift to second, third, or second can work through here. If you want that little bit of extra rotation and a little bit of extra pull out of the turn, second gear will work. And then you can use all of the track, all of the extra track on the curbing there as well. Over to the full left side of the road, we'll just lean on this outside curb, flick the car in, just using the throttle here, steer the car with an abrupt lift, little gentle reapplication as well, using plenty of that middle part of the curb. And then we will stay as close to the right as we can. You can see we're definitely on the right half of the road. Ideally, you might be even a little bit further over to the right than this by taking just a little bit less speed through that previous right-hander. Then outer line through here. So staying up pretty high. You're still within a car width or so of the white line at the top. And then that allows you to really slingshot around that turn by taking a lot of extra speed with the increased banking that you've got up top. The traditional racing line there is much, much slower. So you're outer line, and then using all the track on exit and third gear through that turn. And then from onto the straight, well, not really straight, it's a bench straight, but we're just taking the shortest path, so just traversing from right to left here, making sure to not bounce off the rev limiter. Although, actually, I should say you can stay in fifth and just bounce off the rev limiter slightly at the end of this turn, or the end of before this this fast turn 7. So either or, sixth and a downshift to fifth will work mid-corner, but you don't want to go flat out through here, so full throttle with a downshift to fifth, or you can hold fifth. I think they're both about the same in terms of speed. It's apexing just before the start of the curb and then coming away from that curb, and then using all the track if need be. Looking over to the left now, I was a bit abrupt with my lift here. I should have actually maintained some throttle. Probably should have lifted a little bit earlier, maintained some throttle through here, and just kept the rear end activated, because you can see we get a snap of oversteer there. Lost a little bit of time there, unfortunately. So what I would actually do differently is just lift, but not lift fully. So we want to keep some throttle driving the rear axle, which keeps the rear diff, or the only diff, in lock mode, in drive mode, which is actually more of a tighter state where the car is actually push you a little bit further wide, which we did have a little bit of extra track out here. You can see we're braking near curb. You can use all the track on exit as well. And then we're able to bring the car back to pretty much the full right side of the road. You can even take a slightly shallower line through here, but I was preferring the wider line, and then sort of coming away from the right side of the track, somewhere around that service road there. You want to just minimize track distance, and I don't think it really helps you all that much. It is so off camber that it does sort of bottom out the car slightly. So in an emergency, you'll be out there, but ideally you'd be slightly to the left of that outer curb. And then into this next sort of chicane pin, we're going to brake just after the beginning of the curb. Hard on the brakes, about 70% peak pressure. Down to third, get nice and close to the just after the beginning of the curb. Hard on the brakes, about 70% peak pressure. Down to third, get nice and close to the sausage curb on the inside. And that's perfect, just kissing the edge of it is fine. Snappy change direction, and you want to really drop into this groove nicely. So right up against the gravel here. So using the gravel as an apex reference rather than the curb, because you want to actually use all of the curbs. Second gear. And then as soon as the gravel ends, you can come away from that curb. And then because you go over this little coast here, this little drop, you want to make sure that you're straightening wheel as you go over the top of it. As the car will get light, you want to take all the lateral load out of the car, so the car's not trying to push to the right and snap in oversteer state. And then into this final turn, braking just before the white line, holding fourth, and using plenty of curb. Probably could carry a little more speed through there. I had a little bit of extra track available to me. You can see I sort of steered it out there rather than actually got pushed out there.
Green, green, green. Okay, here comes your first time lap. You have about 2 laps of fuel left. One more lap. You have about 1 lap of fuel left. Alright, there's the checkered flag. The estimated strength of field is 1,737. A lot of opportunities today. Head down. Pick your battles. Half the field is on the grid. Five cars left to grid.
Good luck, everyone. Have fun. Good luck.
Still waiting on 2 cars to grid.
I heard whoever makes it to turn 1 first wins the race. It's going to be a tough gig from there, Dante. Ah,
Waiting on the
trust,
final
dude.
car to grid.
We're going to see some Danny Rick stuff right here.
Green, green, green. Right side, you're in the middle, 3 wide, clear. Left side, clear on the left. Car on your left. You're in the top 10. Keep to the right. Clear on the left.
Holding in the late, Julian.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. Left side. Keep to the right. Clear on the left. Slow car ahead. Car stop on the right. Go left. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 23.86. Just set your fastest lap of the session. Car right. Still there, hold your line. Clear. You've got wheel damage. Looks like one of your wheels is out of alignment. You'll have less grip out there. 5% 6 minutes, 22 seconds. We can repair most of the damage. Minor wheel damage.
when you feel like it and hide behind the fact that you think you're a bigger star than everybody here. I would love to say all of this to your face, but you have not graced us with your presence.
Hello everyone, welcome to the final and having a good run on the inside of the yellow barrier on the right, maybe a tiny bit late between the 150 panel here, about 75 meters around, starting to brake around here. We've got some tarmacs on the ground as well to help us, and we'll reach about 70% of braking, 65-70%, shifting down to second gear and starting to turn to the left, right in the middle between the 50 panel and the start of the yellow barrier on the right, maybe a tiny bit later. The goal is to take advantage from the combo we have on the inside, but not to sacrifice too much the exit for the entry. So it's really a good compromise between sacrificing the entry and having a good run on the inside of the corner. So yeah, I'm turning to the left right now. I'm using just the inside line here without touching the inside curb. The curb is a little bit high, it's throwing us on the outside. You can see that I'm very, very smooth with the pedal inputs. I'm putting back the throttle smoothly before the apex, catching the apex towards the end of the dirty part of the inside curb as well. Almost flat out at the apex, and using the outside curb as well down to the grass on the outside as well. And that's it for this first corner. So we've got that long uphill straight, and we are getting to the turn 2, which is a very interesting corner. And even though it looks a little bit tight, in fact, we can bring much more speed than what we could think, about 150 kph, even more here, because we've got a pretty nice line on the inside with the combo we have. So you need to imagine that the track is separated in two parts, the left part and the right part, almost everywhere around the circuit. And being on the left side, we'll have the car leaning to the left here. You can see it right here. And a little bit later on, I will be on the right side, and you can see that the car is leaning to the right as soon as I'm getting past the mid part of the track. So of course, we want to have the car leaning to the right for the following right-hander, and because of that, we will get to the apex a little bit earlier than what we could think. Having in mind sacrificing a little bit the entry curve is better. So right here, I'm starting to brake right after the end of the road on the left, about 50-55% of braking, shifting down to third gear. You can see that I'm really getting to the inside on the inside for quite a long time, and therefore this is the fastest way to get around this corner, the effects of the combo on the inside. So we are getting up to the first kink here, and right onto the kink I will start braking here. Maybe a tiny bit before, and you can see that I'm letting the car go to the right side. Once again, up here, we have I'm letting the car go to the right side. Once again, we've got the track separated in two parts, the outer part here. We have the car being pretty much horizontal here, and getting onto the inside, we will have a massive combo here. So you have the choice to stay on the inside to take advantage from the combo, but right here we are in a straight, almost, turning to the left, but mainly using the brakes here, so it's pretty much good to have an horizontal braking here. And then we need to have the car getting to the inside. You can see that we have a step down here, and the car will lean to the left again after passing the mid-track here. So braking hard, about 55% again, shifting down to second gear for the sake of the exit, even though we have a long straight coming in after. It's not really worth it. It's really interesting to have that combo, switching back the throttle mid-corner here once again. Be careful on the exit to the full throttle right now, because it's really, really easy to have an inside rear left tire wheel spin. This is what is happening right now. I'm probably putting back the 100% throttle a little bit too early over the following straight. I'm using the full track down to the right side here, full throttle here, not getting onto the curb on the right. Pretty easy full throttle corners right now. Be careful, the GT4s are struggling a little bit more than you in this car to get full throttle. Even in the following left-hander, the GT4s are flat out. Even, well, for us it's easy flat out. They will probably go to the right side. Probably you will have a little opportunity to get to the inside on the entry of this corner, but I would rather not dive from too far, because it would cause a very big problem for the GT4s. They are really on the edge here. Meanwhile, on the LMP3, it's pretty easy flat out. This one and the following one as well, where the GT4s will need to release the throttle on the entry here. Pretty easy. You just need to start turning to the left before the jump here, otherwise you'll be too wide, but even though it's easy flat out. And then we are arriving towards the downhill Skyline S's, and it's really a very, very nice section to get onto. So you can see that I'm really on the left side here, taking advantage from the gap between the white line and the wall on the left, turning to the right, and starting to brake about 10-15 meters before reaching the bridge here. But you can see that I'm not braking too hard, about 10-15-20 meters, 20%, sorry. Just to have the car rotating as much as I want. Braking point for the left-hander. At the direction change, I'm just braking harder, about 60-65%, shifting down to third gear. On the left-hander, using the inside curb, be careful, it's a little bit high for this car, so you need to release the brakes quite a bit before trying to stay on the left side, and on the direction change again, putting back some brakes on 40-45%, right side, very close to the inside curb here. You can see that I'm putting back a little bit of throttle here to avoid dead time, but yeah, I'm on the very right and starting to turn to the left pretty early. Yeah, you would think that we would have to wait the end of the curve to turn to the left, but actually it's really too late here, because we need to dive onto the left here. You could think, okay, I'm going to dive onto the wall here right now. The car will just hit the wall, but actually we are braking a little bit, and then the car will jump being unloaded here and understeer quite a bit. We need to take that into account. to reach the apex. Still, it's a pretty difficult corner because we kind of throw the car onto the inside unless we have a lot of experience. If you touch the inside wall, that's where you learn the most here, so don't hesitate to do that. Putting back the throttle on the compression on the left because the following hairpin is coming very soon here. And one of the hardest corners on this track. So here we've got the separation between the left and the right, even more important than anywhere else, and this is the reason why you will find myself to be very much onto the left side of the track very early in the corner. You can see that as I'm starting to turn to the left, I'm really not on the right side here. I'm already having the left tires onto the steep part of the left side so that the car will have a massive rotation here. This is what we want to have, and you will gain a lot of time by doing that. So don't try to sacrifice the entry for the exit. Take the surface into your advantage here. So you can see that I'm turning to the right, and as I'm passing through the end of the red panel on the left, or orange panel, I would say, I'm starting to brake about 20-25%, controlling it with a tiny bit of throttle here to stabilize the car. Middle of the on the left. Be careful, it's very easy to enter your speed and touch the wall. We've got the straight coming in, and we will reach a very high value of speed. This is a great overtaking opportunity, by the way, especially on the GT4s, but even on the same class. And here, we'll present ourselves on the right side of the track, starting to brake right in the middle between the 150 and the 100 panel, so we would count about 125, 120 meters before starting to brake. It's a pretty big braking zone ahead. We have a little compression, 75% of braking shifting down to third gear, turning to the left here. We often think this corner is a little bit slower than what we could think. We need to turn early in the corner, have a very smooth entry, not taking the inside curb. This is what I'm doing. I'm taking just a little bit of the inside curb. This is not what I want to do. I really want to be on the edge of the curb without touching it. I'm putting back the throttle very smoothly before the apex here, and we are ending this left-hander with the right tires onto the curb here, the following right-hander being easy flat out. The exit is very blind, so we really need to have a lot of practice. We have those little trees on the background to help us as well. Try to use those trees as well on the background to help you. And we are arriving towards the final corner. The final corner will be very slow, very much slower than the first corner, even though it looks like it's very similar, but it's really slower. We don't have any combat to help us, and the car will have the tendency to lock at the front left very easily on our way to the apex. So we need to release the brakes pretty much early. Starting to brake just after the 100 panel here, braking pretty hard, 65-70%, shifting down to first gear or second gear if you prefer. And we start turning to the left just when the white line is making a kink to the right, a little bit after maybe, reducing the brakes. You can see that I'm barely using any brakes right now. I don't want to hit the inside curb once again, just using the white line here is the best, putting back the throttle a little bit before the apex. We want to have the car parallel to the white line as the curve is ending so that we have a good run on the exit. I'm using the full curb, even clipping a little bit of grass on the exit is good. So that's it for this lap, and thank you very much for having followed this video and all the videos of this season. Good luck in your races, and see you next season for new data packs and tutorials. Bye-bye. Just but even on the same class. And here, we'll present ourselves on the right side of the track, starting to brake right in the middle between the 150 and the 100 panel, so we would count about 125, 120 meters before starting to brake. It's a pretty big braking zone ahead. We are slower than what we really want as well on the background to help you. Be slower. We don't have any combat to help us, and the car will have the tendency to lock at the front left very easily on our way to the apex. So we need to release the brakes pretty much.
Give us a few clean laps to get our fuel numbers. cut the course, you've got to slow down and give up that time.